So they want a place where they can go relax and their kids can go and have fun at the same time. Or where they can send the babysitter with the kids, things like that. So that's what you want to target. So an example could be like you could make a highlight reel of the aquatic center. And currently, the time to do that would be now because there's no one at the aquatic center during the day. So this is your time to go get some footage of it, and then like when they open up, that's when you can go out there and get some footage of people having fun and things like that. So you really want to highlight that. Highlight the birthday parties that they're having in the indoor facility, okay? So you want to highlight all those main areas. But that's really where they're going to be making their money, because the whole point of a rebrand is going to be that they're making money. That's what they're trying to do here. So they're wanting people to gain memberships, come in, talk about it. So that's what we're really wanting here. So when we're looking on Canva, the first thing I would do is think, okay, what are the colors that we want to go with? Okay, so you have your general audience. We know that, okay, we're trying to attract parents with young children, okay, or people that want to be active and work out, okay? But the main hub of the community center is that aquatic center. So that's going to be your parents with young kids. So, okay, so if we go in here, and the best thing to do in Canva is just to, you know, mess around with it. So that's really the best thing to do is just mess around in Canva. If it were me, I would have everyone in the project, specifically with the community center, just come up with the colors first, and then say, okay, let's all sketch out a logo, and then let's go into Canva and see if we can really make that happen. Because I promise, if you think of it, it's already been done. So you can probably find a template where you could just insert the information. You could create your own mock-up. It's very easy to do in Canva. And do y'all use Photoshop in here?
We do.
Okay. Then yeah, and if you can't do it in Canva, you can do it in Photoshop.
And something else that we've done recently is Procreate.
Oh
And
yes.
so on the iPad,
I like Procreate.
Caitlin's not here, but she's been actually doing some sketching in there.
Have y'all ever used Illustrator or anything like that?
We haven't, but I have some kids that do, but I don't know, like off the top of my head who they are. But try Illustrator.
Illustrator's really good for drawing like logos out and those detailed, complicated things. It's a little, if you have the basics of Photoshop down, the kids that want to be an illustrator are going to be those that have that really good foundation of Photoshop.
Okay.
Yeah. So in Canva, this is your starting place. Okay. So if we think about, just off the top of my head, okay, we're wanting to highlight the aquatic center in our logo. We're probably going to want to use some blue tones in the logo. And when you look at if you go and look at the building of the community center, let's do that. And see, you can see here, they're trying to do this orange thing. I don't know what's orange about the community center, but maybe we try something different. Okay, and then it's if you look at this, I can see why they did orange because this part of the building is orange, but that's not what you think of when you think of the community center. You don't think of the underpinning of their building. You think of the blue water, the pool, that's what your automatic thing goes to, okay? So, and it's up here, they have Batesville Parks and Recreation. So if we go over here to the community center specifically, we can go over here, and I think one thing that they need is, let's see, and see, you have this down here, that's gotta go. So you have to go in here, the best thing to do is become acquainted with all the things they provide. So I did not know they had a bathhouse, okay? You look at all the things they have. And so what are the things that we can accomplish and we're gonna highlight in all of our information? So in our highlight reel, in that video, if you make one, that's the time to highlight all of those things they do. You know, you wanna make it the best 30 seconds of your life. You wanna leave that video and go, I wanna go to the community center right now. That's your goal with any piece of marketing and any kind of brand rebranding you want to do. You really want to look at and go, the best thing to do is make a list of everything that you feel like is wrong, and then make a list of everything that you feel like is going well, and how can we move everything from that cons list of everything that's going wrong to everything that's going right. If that makes sense. So, obviously the main thing we wanna do is kind of probably start looking at like, okay, what kind of blues can we do, okay? And so honestly, the best thing to do is like market research. So go look at like other community centers, other aquatic centers, what are they doing? So you wanna do some like basic research. So like if we wanna look at, okay, what are other aquatic centers in the state doing? What are their logos looking like? But we also know that that's also gonna be a little bit more difficult because no one has, to my knowledge, and you may know the answer to this, that no one has an aquatic center to the scale of what Batesville does. Okay.
Paragould, isn't it Paragould or Pocahontas, one has one that's just kind of mimicking, but nowhere near this.
Okay. So let's look at theirs. Okay, so they have something that's similar, but it's not anywhere near the scale. But, so we will, let's see what, for instance, like what Paragould is doing and see if, when you look at this, you can either see, okay, like, that's not working or that is working really well. Okay, see here, no one has just a dedicated, everything's on one site, which if that's what you want to do and that's what they want to do, you can continue to do that. But you see, even here, the aquatic center, it's blue, okay? So your mind is already there. Okay, so, and then this is the first thing that you see when you open this website. That's a no-go, okay? I don't want to read a bunch of words, okay? So you automatically, the first thing you want to see, you want it to pop, you want them to like be interested. If this is the first thing I see, I'm probably going to click off of it. And it's like, if you continue looking at it, the main photo there is like a statue they have in like their little downtown area. It's not like giving aquatic center. So that's really not what we're looking for there, okay? So you already know, like, you just have to get your head, like, in the mindset of, like, okay, I have to look for the little details, because the little details in this are gonna matter. So it's like, okay, obviously, if we're wanting to rebrand the whole community center on basing on the water park part of it, then that's gotta be our main focus, okay? That's gotta be our avid point. That's gonna be the most fun thing you can do with marketing. And so there's so many things that you can do with that marketing. Maybe your logo has, like, a swirly slide in it, okay, with some kid coming out of it. Maybe you make some social media content with, you go out there and get some families in on it, okay? Because I'm sure if you put it out there that, hey, we're needing small children to come to the community center, take part in marketing for the community center, I'm sure you could easily get some parents to come over there, okay? Because who doesn't want their kid to be featured in the community center that's gonna be wide scale like that? That's easy, okay? So, and one thing that you can do is, so the first, like, really the big thing you wanna do is do some basic research. Like, see, like, what are they doing that's working? Like, if you notice, like, when you highlight it, it goes orange. We gotta get rid of the orange, gotta go. Orange gotta go. So it's just like the two colors, they don't work well together, okay? So we've gotta pick a new color scheme, number one. And then it's like, then you have different fonts, they're different sizes. It's just, there's a lot of mishap going on. You want it to be very cohesive, okay? And so, and if you look, like this font is different than this font, which is different than this font, which is different than this font. So you want it to be, you want to pick like one font that's going to be your title, one font that's going to be your subtitles, one font that's going to be your copy. And you want them all to be cohesive together. And that's just like your general branding, like, knowledge. That's not something that you have to but you want to pick 3 fonts and how they work together. So typically, your title font is going to be something bold. Okay, they did that there, but it's not cohesive everywhere else. Okay? Then you want to pick something that's going to be your subtitles, which would be like this, welcome to the Batesville Community Center Aquatics, that would be your subtitle. And then your copy is going to be all this information down here. Okay? And so they did that with here, they have the same font, but this is in blue, this is in black. It's like not cohesive, and then this is orange. And like, then it's like, okay, well, where's the green that's in your logo? Like, we're gonna have it up there, we need to incorporate it somewhere. And so, it's all about just finding those pieces and intermingling them together and making it a cohesive unit. That's really what marketing is all about, and like the rebranding. So, if we're wanting to focus on like an aquatic center logo, the best thing to do, literally go to Google, aquatic center logo. Okay, you have all these options. This is something, you don't have to reinvent the wheel when it comes to marketing. If you see something on here that you like, by all use it. Okay? You wanna make sure it's not like trademarked in anything, obviously. But if it's not trademarked, marketing wise, free reign. Okay? Obviously you wanna make it your own, but the idea, you can take an idea. Okay? You can do that. Easy peasy. So let's say we really like this one right here. You don't actually have to like this one, but let's just say we do. Okay? So let's say we really love that logo. Okay? And see here, like, if this were, like, if I was doing this website, I would not do it just like this website. I wouldn't have all this business on the side, but I see what they were doing because they were trying to incorporate the same colors everywhere. Okay? The website, obviously, you want it to go from screen, from side to side, but you see how they have the picture up here, but they put it over in blue so it matches, so it's cohesive. They have a swimmer over there, so when you see that, you're gonna think pool, okay? And then everything is blue and white, so it's very cohesive, and like your eye is able to like come down with it, okay? So that's really, so go on Google, especially those that are on that community center branding project, go on Google, just look, okay? So obviously like, there's gonna be some, and you're gonna be able to see like, okay, that is probably the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And then you're gonna see something like, okay, that's really good. And so I would pick like 3 or 4, and then each of y'all, each pick a logo, let's go in Canva, design it ourselves with the Batesville, like let's make it Batesville branded, and let's see which one we like the best. Which one's gonna look really good on social media, which one's gonna look really good on their sign up front, which one are they gonna like the best. And it's really good, especially when you're doing branding. If it was me, I would have a couple of options to show them. So I would have like maybe 2 or 3 options to bring into them in different press kits. It show them from different points of view. That's really fun. So if you see something you like, then you can kind of go after it. But if we go into Canva, let's say, let's see what we can find here. And I'm sure there's something in Canva that you can find that's very easy and you can just insert the information. Okay, well, nothing's popping up right now, but, so to continue on, so like, let's say that we look at this logo right here, okay? So all you have to do is go into Canva, find the pieces, and just piece it all together. So then you're gonna find that circle border, you're gonna find another circle, you're gonna erase it, you're gonna insert the wave person in there. It seems very complex when you're looking at that. That's really not that hard to do. Is it gonna look exactly like this? No, that's our point. We wanna make it to where it's our own, or we make it like, unique to Batesville. So like, we wanna use this logo, okay, what pieces can we make in it that's gonna make it unique to Batesville, that's gonna make people stand out, okay? And so, like, when I look at the community center, I don't think, oh, like, I feel like their colors are orange. I think, okay, it's probably blue. That's like my automatic thought when I think of the community center. So, I would really focus on like different shades of blue. So I would do like a dark blue that you really like, I would do a light blue you really like, and I would do like a white, okay? Or like a very faint, like blue undertone white, okay? Something that's gonna really flow really well together. So like your first thing you wanna do is, okay, let's go in here, figure out, okay, what colors of blue do we wanna do? So and that's literally, it's really simple, and on your thing, just like have it over here, and then have the 3 colors like in different squares, and then have like, it's like the hashtag with the number code, the color code, have that out there. That's one thing you already have done. That's one thing you're gonna put into that branding kit, and so that way, like, because eventually, you're gonna give this to them, and that's the goal, is that you're gonna give them this branding kit, and that they're gonna take it and run with it. Okay, you're gonna get them started, and so they need those color codes, so that way, if they ever reach out to a designer or somebody to print something for them, they have those color codes. And so, then you just put in text, hashtag the color code, whatever you wanna do, and so you go in there, and you just mess around with this. let's get over here to the blues. Let's say like, the blue that we really wanna use is, let's say it's this blue. Obviously, personally probably wouldn't go with that one, but let's just say it's this blue that we wanna go with, okay? So when you're in Canva, and I'm sure most of you know this, but there's the color code, like when you kind of hover over it, it has the color code. So like this one is #0097E1. Just pick your font that you wanna use, and when you're doing any font, you wanna make sure you follow your fonts throughout. So you have the font that's gonna be your header, you have the font that's gonna be your subheader, and then you have that font that's gonna be your copy. Make sure it's consistent throughout. And make sure the sizing of it is throughout the same. Okay, so if you know that like, okay, on this page, we're gonna have really big text, let's make it the header font here, okay? Or the subheading font. Make sure that that is consistent on all of your things, okay? Because you wanna make it, each piece should flow, number one, nicely together. They should all be interrelated, they should come through together, and they should flow. They should all be interrelated. They should look like a piece of like an art collection, like, okay, they all make sense together. Because if you set them out on the floor here, and you have all the pieces together, and one of them sticks out like a sore thumb, that's not what you want. You want it to all mesh really well together. So when you're doing that, put them side by side. Put all the pieces that you're doing, so all the social media posts, all the logos, all the colors, everything that you're doing the video, put it side by side. See how it matches up next to each other, okay? Because when you show them that digital portfolio and that digital rebranding kit that you're gonna make, you want them to say, okay, this has like a nice flow to it, a nice like vibe to it, okay? So that's the first piece you wanna do. Figure out, okay, what colors do we wanna do? And like I said, you wanna pick anywhere from 2 to 4. 3's a really good number, okay? Because it gives you some variety, gives you some options. 2 is like a not enough, and 4, once you get up past 4, you're getting into too many, okay? It's like example in their logo currently, too many colors, okay? And so, now we wanna pick, okay, what colors are gonna make sense with everything, okay? So we decided, okay, the thing you think about, she said water, okay? That's what we think about when we go over there. So, now we're gonna pick our 3 forms of blue, okay? Now, you're gonna say, okay, have the colors, let's pick our fonts, okay? What's gonna make sense here? You don't wanna go for the crazy creative. Fonts want to be, number one, easy to read. You wanna be able to pick them out, and you want it to be unique to the business, but you don't want it to be too unique where it's hard to read and it doesn't make sense with the branding. So, for example, like with the font with McDonald's, everyone knows that is McDonald's signature font. Or like with Wendy's, you know that that's a signature font. So find something that maybe no one else is using in town, like a font that no one else has. Okay, and that's just doing some simple, okay, let's look up some other aquatic centers, look up some of their businesses. What are they using? Let's see what they're doing, okay? Google is going to be your best friend with this project. And so that's what you need to do. It's just doing that basic research. Okay, so like when I worked for Honda and I was doing all of their marketing, I would go on and see, okay, what is Chevy doing this week? That would be a good idea to post about. What is Toyota doing? What is GMC doing that I could adapt and make personable to Honda specifically? So how can you adapt it, change it, and make it unique to your brand that you're doing, okay? So this can apply to any of the projects, okay? So when you're thinking about any of your projects, what is gonna be unique about it that you need to fix? Like, so what is your audience? That's the key thing you wanna think about throughout this whole thing is like, what is our audience gonna wanna see, okay? So if you don't know what they're gonna see, go ask them. Go find somebody with little kids and say, what do you think about this logo? Like, would this make you wanna come? Would this video that we made make you wanna come? And if they say no, it's okay to start from scratch. It's okay to say, this is probably the ugliest thing I've ever seen. Let's start it. That's okay. It happens all the time. It's like last week I was working with High School East and I was like, this is ugly. We're not doing this. So we restarted from scratch. Okay? If you know me, I'm very blunt. So just have no filter. But so it's okay to start from scratch. Okay? And don't get your feelings hurt when you walk in there and they say, let's change some of these things, because they're going to. They're inevitably gonna want to tweak some things. And that's okay. And so, but you have to come in there with that marketing perspective and say, well, your general audience is so-and-so, and we're trying to reach so-and-so, so we really think these things are going to make it pop to them. And I promise if you said the word general audience and marketing research and trend analysis, they're gonna think that you are probably the smartest person on the planet Earth. Because they're not talking about those things clearly. So, and also, go see what is working for other things. Like I said, do that trend analysis. So trend analysis is just what's trending, what's working really well for businesses, what's selling the product, what are other places to. So that's really where you want to start. And so when you have a branding kit, like I said, I would just make it all in Canva, okay? And if you do something in Photoshop, it's easy just to drag into Canva. And I say do it all in Canva because you can have it all in one place, okay? I would either do it in Canva or I would have like a Google Drive where everything can be seen together. So here, if like I went into Photoshop and made something, I would then drag it into here, you know, add the page, drag it into there. Because then you can zoom out and see it all together, okay? You're gonna be able to see, okay, how does the colors go well with the social media that we wanted to do, with the logo that we've created, how does it all fit together? You know, and so then personally, I'm more of a Photoshop person because you can do a little bit more in Photoshop and it's more techy that way. But I think with Canva, this is gonna be a really good tool for you to use and utilize during this project. So, and any other projects when you're doing branding related things. So, when you're doing branding, you really want to make sure that it's really the most important key factor is you're meeting your audience and it's cohesive. That's really the most two key important things. So at the end of it, if you have cohesiveness and it's your general audience is met, you have a really successful branding kit. So that's really all you have to have, okay? It doesn't have to be anything fancy, it doesn't have to be anything spectacular. We just really want to make sure the rebrand is meeting the audience, okay? Any questions?
I have a couple of specific
Yes.
questions for that. Okay, so one of the things that they have asked is marketing for each of their activity programs too.
Okay.
So, so they have a separate logo for softball, or baseball, or swim, or what else, volleyball, whatever, soccer, like, and all, so like if you try to
Do they send
incorporate,
you those?
they're on, yes, in fact they did, hold on.
I didn't know they were on.
Let's see. I'm gonna switch. We'll sign out.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. So, because this is what I was worried about, when you're trying to
They
go
said
with
this is-
three or, you know, just a minimum number of colors, and then you have a softball that's got yellow, volleyballs could kind of go any
Mhm.
direction,
So what my recommendation would be is to create a logo that is going to be for the community center regional, or for the community center and athletic center, and then maybe come up with like an activity logo. So that's when maybe like you come up with a logo that it could be Batesville Community Center under it says softball and it's color coded specifically to that, but the fonts and the setup of the logo is the same in every sport, so it's cohesive in that area, but the colors depend on the sport.
okay, so we know this is not what we wanna do, but I was just trying to
Mhm.
put up something the other
Yeah.
day that they could see and kind of give them that. Girls, did we move that logo to one of your folders? The one where we did the circle, I mean, this was like a 2 second, I was just trying to show them, like, what if we did something where this is something cohesive like this, and then can we do
In the
the
middle.
center where we have
I think that's great.
specific brand, like specific activities?
Yes, I think that's great.
Okay,
The thing, you want it to be like recognizable, okay, that is the Batesville Community Center logo, but then there's some aspect of it that's different.
okay.
Yeah.
So then you could get away from your color, like if you had.
Then you can get away from the colors, and so
Okay.
like, I would have like the community center logo, like the one they're gonna put on the sign. I would have that be,
Because you know, they've just got a new digital sign,
Yes.
and the logo they've put on it is a sign. It isn't this.
okay, that's
Interesting,
a
right?
choice. So I would create like a generic logo that they wanna use on like, okay, their social media accounts that they're gonna put on their business cards, they're gonna put on their signs, and then have like an activity. And you want it to be similar, but you obviously, like, we're going for like the water thing.
So if you were gonna take something like this,
Mhm.
where we have a font created, make a main image that is Batesville Parks and Rec, then, and then you can have different images for volleyball, softball.
And if it were me, I would try and make them circular. So like,
That's,
you know, like, it's like that was not very circular. So I would try and make it like, it looks like, you think you're gonna be,
there's like.
like that looks, I think that looks cool.
Okay,
Yeah, I think because it's circle, it's in there, and I do think doing something like that is gonna be great, because then it's cohesive, and then it fits in with each theme. And I think that looks cool. I like that.
because we noticed this blue color they used a lot in right there. It's throughout, so we were trying to kind of not change them too much, but.
Yes, because you don't want to do a rendering whether the artist can just too much, but you want to like make them feel like, okay, this is like the community center where we had the foundation is brought us to modern day.
So you think something, because this, what bothers me is, the sun, having a circular, if you just had the sun that's on there with maybe, because you really don't need Batesville Parks and Recs like that if you've got. We'll work on the Batesville Parks and Rec one, and we're gonna send it to you. and then-
That one's gonna be the hardest one that you're gonna have to fight, because like, if you look at this logo here, it's like, I'm gonna think like, okay, there's a lake somewhere, there's some mountains, I'm gonna go like hiking, here. So, it's not giving a, like,
It's not giving you the image that, and maybe their idea was to go for like outdoor theme.
I think they were trying, but I don't think it was there.
I don't think so. Like, I really think the biggest draw, like you said, is not hiking in water. It's either the gym or the water park.
Yeah.
And I think the water park is the center of everything.
Yes, so if it were me and I was like, if I was hired to do their marketing for them specifically, that's the one thing I'm gonna highlight, because that's the one thing, when you drive by, that's the one thing you notice. You're not going, oh, there's a meeting room on the second level. You're really thinking